Okay, the crypto market is absolutely tanking. So let's discuss that in today's stream. I wasn't planning on going live today up until I saw this major dump here today because of the new Trump tariff news coming out. So yeah, let's discuss exactly that. I will wait for some people to join in. We will discuss the most important stuff. And yeah, I do think this is just major panic selling going on both the US stock market, Bitcoin, and Ethereum. Here, Bitcoin all the way broke below 118k here. Now back above. Let me check on the latest price here. Now just holding above the 118k level here, but yeah, major correction to the downside here. Looks very scary, I must say. And yeah, let's draw out some import levels for Bitcoin because now we are breaking down of the falling wedge, and that is indeed not looking very good, I must say. That is indeed not looking very good. But yeah, let's see. First, people should be joining in now. Hello, guys. Healthy correction. See me gap. We are going to 103k. I don't think we are going to 103k actually. I don't think so. Me personally, I would just dive in because I do see first people are joining now, which is incredible. But let's discuss the most important stuff, and that's the news coming out. I think we have been discussing this on our X pages for the last few hours here. But what's happening now is that Trump, of course, not announced new tariffs, but he's basically stating that here we can see it. S&P trades at record high. President Trump posts a statement on massive China tariff increase and cancels the meeting with Chinese President Xi Jinping. Dip buys attempt to step in, but then eventually we just stay heading lower. So there's a lot of panic now on the US stock market, and that's exactly what has been driving the crypto market down here. Crypto is getting dragged down by the US stock market. The question is, did investors learn from the April panic selling? And for now, it seems like they did not, because if you take a look into the data, here we can see that this is basically the largest drop, 2%, now on track to be the biggest daily drop since April the 21st. So that is most definitely very insane. This is basically another tariff crash once again. But yeah, the real question is going to be, is this going to continue or not? I personally think that indeed this is major panic selling, and I think Trump is bluffing at the current moment. I don't think Trump is going to start another trade war with China, because we did know what happened last time. U.S. bonds went to the roof. The economy did get in quite some trouble actually. They are not stating that out loud, but they did get in some trouble because of the U.S. bond market, and I don't think he's going to make the same joke once again. But yeah, the S&P 500 is now 70 points down. It's quite insane. And this was, of course, the message Trump did put out there, that he's looking into putting some very serious tariffs on China once again. But still, nothing official yet here. I will quickly move this to my other page. So I personally think for now, this looks like a major buy the dip zone. And I will give an update on my Ethereum trade, because I have been adding a little bit actually. And because I do think dips like this are for adding and not for panicking, so I did add a little bit to my trade, now position size of 20k, and I will stay doing so as we are going to fall lower to lower my entry price also. But of course I have been ending at the 4.1k level, I think something like that. I think I will wait a little bit, but maybe put a limit order at the 4k level also for ETH. But yeah, I will keep you guys updated on exactly that. I do think these levels are going to be for buying. Because if you are truly going to fall lower, it is going to be a problem. Because I will show you guys. Look at this. I think we are now at very critical support. This is the support level we are now trading on. And there we can see every single time. And this is basically going to be do or die support. Once we break above this, we see a new all-time high. Once we break below it, we see a major crash here. Once we, of course, see a rejection, we also bounce back here to the downside. But yeah, this is going to be or a major bounce zone for Bitcoin, or it's going to be bloody. It's going to be very bloody. But for now, I'm buying the dip on this major support level. I do personally think that if we are not going to see too much new stuff coming out tonight, this is just a lot of panic selling, and I do think Trump is bluffing. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm going to be wrong, but I do think Trump is bluffing. Rover is shorting Bitcoin on the Telegram group. Didn't you short with him? Rover is not shorting himself. I can show you who is shorting actually. Um, Rezel, one of our scalp traders. So he's not. I'm a swing trader, so I make bigger positions for the long term. But scalp traders, of course, are trading very short term. And he did indeed short the exact Bitcoin, or not the exact top, but he did short at 124.2k. And from there, we went on moving lower to 118k. So he did make a crazy scalp short once again. And I must say, he has been on fire. He is now in position over a portfolio of over 2 million US dollars. So yeah, if you do want trading guidance from like a very good scalp trader, make sure to join the VIP Telegram group, because you can find the link here in the description on this live stream. Also, I will show you guys. It's quite insane actually that we just give access to trades like this for free. But yeah, you can join it here with the link in the description. Absolutely insane. Amazing trade by him once again. And he has been making some very good trades here in the last couple of days, I would say. That guy is good. Yeah, he's very good actually. Same story for ETH. Yeah, ETH, a little bit of a different story, I think. Look, ETH is just back in this major buy the dip zone. And I do think for ETH now, actually, if I'm looking at the chart here, that a bounce of the 100 daily moving average is going to be needed for ETH if you're going to drop lower. I don't want to see ETH dropping much low from there, but let's see how that will be playing out. It is playing out a little bit differently than we saw the previous consolidation phase, because there we did not saw such a large drop back into the buy the dip zone. So it's definitely playing out a little bit different, but for now I do think this is going to be a buy opportunity for now. But yeah, also we should just keep our eyes, and that's also what I stated in the private Telegram group. Here my own update channel, crypto market getting dragged down. Also, I'm not selling on the terrorist FUD. I won't be closing my trade. I won't be selling for now. I feel like Trump is bluffing, but I will keep a close eye on this. Just add a little bit of ETH will keep you guys up to date, and I will be doing so. But I will keep my eyes on the upcoming news, because on the other hand, it could go very fast with Trump. You never know what's going to be next. So yeah, we have some volatile days ahead of us. Which is very unfortunate is that this dump occurs just for the weekend, and that is a problem, because it means that the CME gap is going to be significantly lower than where it would have been if Bitcoin just stayed trading a little bit higher. But yeah, it's a situation currently. So we are going to see somewhat of a low CME gap for this weekend, and probably not a big push higher. Where are you wanting to add to your Ethereum trading position? I just showed actually. Now we are back in my buy the dip zone. So here I am adding to my Ethereum position. I added 1.5k in position size here on the dip, but I also just want to be a little bit careful on dips like this. I do think they are for buying, but you do want to be a little bit careful. Are you waiting to see if it breaks on a 4k? Yeah, most definitely. Of course, I still have my 3.8k limit order open. I'm going to be a big buyer at those levels. But yeah, I will just slowly DCA in. We need to know where to look to buy from next. I would say that the 4k and the 3.8k levels are going to be very good ones. If you are now starting out with building an Ethereum position, or just another position, but most definitely for ETH, I do think this could be your first entry where we are trading at now, because now we are also coming down back again. 4.1k seems to be the support for now, but then the 4k and 3.8k are going to be big levels, because if you zoom out a lot on the ETH chart, and I will show this in a new chart actually. Oh, sorry to make you repeat yourself. I just got it. No problem. Absolutely no problem. Of course, I totally understand. For ETH, if we, for example, look at weekly, this is it's basically also a retest of our reaccumulation zone, but I will discuss that a little bit later in the live stream once again. Also for some Ethereum top targets, but this is actually the chart I was talking about. I just shorted this out a few hours ago. Still on the bull flag ETH. It's now on bull flag support also. So actually, I'm just looking into this also. We are now at quite crucial support also for Ether. It seems we are finding some support there. We could wick a little bit below it, but on the bigger perspective, we are still on this major support zone. And that support zone, I would say the bottom of it lays at the 3.8k level. So from there, you do want to see a bounce from ETH, and I do think that will happen. I don't see ETH dropping much lower personally for now. And eventually I do think the market is actually looking good. If this tariff news is just going to come out less heavy than expected, and the market is currently pricing in, because the US stock market is basically reacting insanely overreacting. I think US 500. It's still like quite a small correction, of course, looking at it on the bigger perspective, but on the hourly, I'm on 3x leverage, not on 5x, 3x. Look at that. US stock market seems to be finding a bottom here, which does look good, I must say. Let's hope it will continue doing so. This is the chart we should be keeping our eyes on, basically, because this is what dragged Bitcoin down. The tariffs are going to drag the US stock market down like crazy. Also like we saw, of course, during that April crash here. August, April, I think. I'll just zoom out a little bit more. But guys, if you do want to be trading yourself, and if you do want to be adding on this dip, because if you have been sidelined, this is probably going to be a nice dip to be accumulating on before eventually a wave higher, because I don't think I see somebody stating the top is in. I don't think the top is in personally. So I will be betting on this dip. I will be adding on the dip. If you want to do the same, you can check out the link in the description on the live stream, and there you can claim a free $200 bonus, and also a 100% deposit bonus on LBANK. So make sure to check it out if you're getting interested in that, and that could be your first or maybe just a little bit of extra capital you can start trading with if you're interested in that. Of course, in no way financial advice, but I must say that during dips like this, you do want to accumulate, and not once the crypto market is going to bounce back. Then actually you do want to have your position inside, you do want to have your position open, and not once we are dropping or once we are moving up. That's not where you do want to open your position. Now on the dip, it's going to be an amazing opportunity, so make sure to check it out. Also, if you just want to support the channel, because by using my link you're also supporting. So if you value the live streams, if you value the content, would be amazing if you guys could do so. Top is not in. This is the last shakeout before the breakout. Yeah, let's hope so. I must say, Ethereum is definitely falling a little bit deeper than I have been expecting. But yeah, still, I'm not that worried, I must say, since it's basically still on higher low for ETH on the bigger perspective here. Yeah, if ETH is going to make a lower low, it's going to be a problem. But then we are still a significant correction away from exactly that. So I don't think that's going to happen in the near future, I must say. Let's see if we have some new stuff coming out, because now it can go really quick also with news. No, not much more coming out now. Oh, here. I would take below the drop of the market. Yeah. The largest S&P 500 drop since April the 21st. Blood in the street is when we water our portfolio seeds. Yeah, most definitely. We are going to be buying when there's blood in the streets, and this is going to be an opportunity. But the question is going to be, do you believe that Trump is indeed going to put new tariffs on China? I don't, because I think he knows what happened to the bond market last time. It went absolutely crazy. It wasn't a lot of problems, actually. Like they do downscale that a little bit, like, oh, it wasn't that big of a problem, but actually that was like crazy back then, what happened. So I don't think Trump wants to play that game once again. I think he just wants to put some pressure on China, and let's see where it goes from there. But yeah, putting new tariffs on China, it doesn't make much sense for me. Gozer wil je ook een doen waar net als Daan en Mr. Crypto. I will be living there in the near future. amazingly. Leaving next week actually. Um, what a disaster! Geez, it's definitely a disaster. But disaster is also an amazing opportunity. It's also an amazing opportunity. Let me check some Bitcoin charts actually, because we did just ruled out this major support level for Bitcoin, like stated, do or die. Um, breaking down the falling wedge, which is indeed not very good. Let's see how it looks on this perspective in the quarter Q4. Yeah, it's still playing out like we have seen every single quarter. We always see a little bit of a dump before more upside in Q4, or actually over the last 2 years we've seen this. We've seen this over the last 2 years. Bitcoin monthly returns, of course. Now, let's see where we are actually. Only a 4% gain in October left still. So it does make a lot of sense, which the average of October and also of course November is still upcoming. Yeah, guys, I don't see much reason to turn very bearish on the markets here, but I think it's just going to be important that we keep our eyes very closely on the upcoming news here. I think actually, and I won't be live streaming that because I think it's very late. I'm in the European time zone once again, so it's very hard for me to keep up to date with that. But what I did see, I think Rover just posted this. Um, Let me check. President Trump will be speaking at both 3 p.m. and 5 p.m. Eastern Time today, including an announcement. So maybe he's going to state something about the tariffs. What you do always see with the announcement is that most of the times there's also some room for the media to ask questions. So yeah, and Trump most of the time does answer. So let's see if he's going to put more oil on the fire or if he's just going to cool down a little bit. Of course, I hope for the second, of course. But those are going to this is going to be stuff you do want to keep your eye on. 3 p.m. and 5 p.m. It's a little bit late for me actually, so I won't be there. Um, let's see where ETH is heading now. ETH actually dropping a little bit lower once again. The dip keeps dipping. Dip keeps dipping, guy. But I must say the 4K is going to be a nice entry if you haven't opened any E trade yet. I would be looking into the 4K. It's like I have been opening at those levels, so for me it does not make a lot of sense. But um, 4.1K seems to be strong support for ETH, I must say. Back to Bitcoin. 117K. 3.8K. Yeah, maybe. I don't know, because I also have my limit order open there, and I would then set my limit order at like 3.8, 20 or something, just in case. Yeah, this is your support now. Very important. If you lose this, it's going to get bloody, I think. I'm not setting a stop loss on ETH, or maybe I will be doing so. Should I? Uh, hmm. Nah, I don't know. I don't think it's necessary because my liquidation price is so low. But on the other hand, I do think if you are might be bouncy. Yeah, I don't think it's necessary for me. But I must say, guys, now if you are in a higher leverage position, make sure to set a stop loss because now it can go really fast. Rich traders don't use stop loss. I do think a lot of rich traders actually do use a stop loss. You think we will bounce soon, or is the bull market open? I think we will still bounce quite soon here. I think the probability is there. But what I did want to say, if you're trading very high leverage, I would suggest in a market like this to set a stop loss because I don't want to put scary thoughts out there. But we also must remember what happened last time with the tariffs. I don't think it will happen again, but just in case, because I have a lot of friends, I do know a lot of people who did get liquidated once we saw those major wicks. And it doesn't have to be like a major crash. It could also be one major liquidation wick taking out all of that liquidity. Let's look at the liquidation heat map indeed. Maybe you can see some interesting stuff there. Let's look at it. Bitcoin liquidation heat map. The weekly. Yeah, it's taking out all of the downside liquidity now. Let's see where the next downside liquidity is laying. Very low actually. Interesting. And I don't think we are going to drop to the 108k level. So maybe the topside liquidity is going to be next because it seems like now at the top side most liquidity stacking up at basically the all-time high levels, 127k. So interesting. Longs have been wrecked, 7 daily ETH heat map. Let me check. It's over, it's not over, I think. I don't think so. 4 points. Yeah, crazy on the weekly here. Let's see at the monthly how it looks there. Yeah, a lot of long leverages being wiped out, but I must say there is not as much short liquidity stacking up than there is with Bitcoin. A lot of you complain the bull market is over for weeks. It gets tiring. Study some economics instead of gambling, eh? Yeah, maybe. But I do understand people are panicking now because we have not seen this in quite a long time. Something we will be going to fill the CME gap below. I can't even remember what the exact CME gap is. I can't even remember. Let me check it. Let me check that. CME or Bitcoin CME futures. Ah, there it is. So partial fill at 111k, 111.5k. It depends, man. It really depends. Look, Bitcoin is now holding above this major support level. If we were going to drop lower, maybe, but still then it's going to be, I don't know. Why would Bitcoin dump that hard now? I don't really see it happening. Dumptober actually. Yeah. The whale opened 400 million US dollars short and Bitcoin made a fortune. Yeah, he definitely did. I should tweet about that later. He definitely made like some insane money. Insane. And it's also the same OG whale that has been, I think, selling a lot of Bitcoin for ETH. Not in the last few days, but actually before that, like I think 2 months ago, something. Altcoin season is ridiculous. For now it is, but I do still believe in altcoin season. It would make sense for me that the cycle would extend till Q4, maybe beginning of Q1, since altcoin season not happened yet. Yeah, I also think that's possible. Extend to Q4 most definitely. But yeah. Um, I'm sick of this cycle. Crime season everywhere. We have been dumped on by the operator. No altcoin season maybe. Um, yeah, I see a lot of frustration in the chat. I must say. Yes, because people want to get wealthy without having the mindset for knowledge, build yourself up, is what I'm saying. Yeah, most definitely. Not betting on it though, I de-risk a lot. Last pump, might go to 115k before pumping up. Not gonna lie. You think so? 105k would mean us dropping below the support. So I don't see why it would start pumping up at 115k. Look, of course, we also still have that 113k level. Let me check back at that. I think that's going to be accurate. Oh, what are you murmuring? Speak up. If you, I'm not going to speak up just because you don't like it. I don't know. Just go watch another live stream or something. I don't really care. Lovely time to buy, most definitely. Good market, so done obvious manipulation. I don't know if it's manipulation. I don't know. You think so? I think we should just hold the support and then we are going to be fine. Bull market is up only, but crypto is different. Zigzag. Gold bull market, yeah, gold. But I think gold is also cooling down. Of course, maybe it's now once again moving up because of everything Trump is saying. Yes, indeed, it is moving up again. Also, like a big correction today, but we're on the 9th. Today we're actually moving up. Interesting with gold, but yeah, basically, and I was also doing some research about Bitcoin versus gold here. And actually, this gold pump, I do think in the end it's going to be very bullish for Bitcoin because the higher the gold market cap is going to be, the bigger the potential for Bitcoin, in my opinion. Because I do think Bitcoin is going to be primed to eventually overtake gold one day. Like it might wick below 117, but will close in the support region and then pump. The falling wedge is too tempting to go long on. Yeah, but now we actually did break down the falling wedge. Gold's being tokenized on ETH though, that's awesome. And yeah, that is definitely very awesome. And also a lot, I saw a tweet coming out about this yesterday, I think, about tokenized gold. Look how beautiful the gold chart is on the daily. Yeah, it's insane. It is quite insane. That's normal, crypto goes up and down, never only up, never only down. Common sense. Yeah, it is. But I do understand that people are panicking because if you do look at the US stock market, we have not seen this in quite a long time, I must say. How many more 4-year cycles do you think Bitcoin has? Um, it's such a hard question, I must say. I don't even know if I'm fully convicted of this 4-year cycle and how it will be playing out. It's I don't know, to be fair. I can't really answer it. How many more 4-year cycles? Look, if you now look into what's happening with gold, is gold still really following a 4-year cycle? Just look at it. And I think Bitcoin is eventually just going to be overheading gold and is going to be taking the place of gold. It's digital gold. It's better in every aspect. It's the future. Um, so yeah, are we then still going to see 4-year cycles, or is Bitcoin just going to turn into the store of value? We all, or I think it will become. You just look at gold. I don't really see a 4-year cycle aspect in gold, you know? So yeah, I think eventually Bitcoin will just go only up, up, and up. As more people are going to use as store of value, market cap will pump higher. Yeah. Pump, dump, dump, pump, dump. We were due for a correction. Maybe. Enjoy the circus. Um, Oof. What's the last price here? Gold is a safe bet next year. Bitcoin might go to 115, 113 before we can see the real pump. I don't know if you're going to drop that low. How's your E-Trade, brother? Yeah, I actually was just talking about it. I'm now in a slight little loss. I don't really care that much. I will put the E-chart here. I've been adding a little bit actually on the dump here. And I do think I will be adding more if ETH is going to dump lower, but it's now still at that 4.1k level. I have my limit orders open 3.8k, 3.6k. I don't think we will drop that low, but I will keep them open, and I might put a limit order at 4.9k too. Gold stagnated a little bit and down here and there now, but Bitcoin is still kinda young-ish. Yeah, I could see 1 or 2 more 4-year cycles for Bitcoin, but eventually it's just going to only head up and up. I think. I think 4-year cycles don't really matter once people are truly going to understand how shit fiat actually is. Um, okay, so yeah, that's what I'm doing with my E-Trade. And guys, like stated, if you do want to join me on the E-Trade, just make sure to claim that $200 and 100% deposit bonus on LBANK, so you can also be opening your first trades or have some extra capital to get started with, or just add to your total position. And guys, I think it's very late here actually. Um, let's just keep our eyes on the markets here for the next few days. Of course, tomorrow morning I will be back with another update video, or actually a little bit later tomorrow, and I will give you guys a big update once again. Probably tonight we are going to see more news coming out, so if you do have very long or high leverage longs open, make sure to set a stop loss, be safe, don't get liquidated, and in my opinion also don't panic too much. Eventually I think we are going to head higher. So I will be ending the stream for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, all of you. Thanks for the questions once again. And I will see you guys in the next live stream or update video later. Oh yeah, and guys, don't forget to join the private VIP channel, because yeah, our trade is also a razor here with this Bitcoin short. We have been doing absolutely amazing, so make sure to check out the VIP channel also if you're getting interested in that, because we trade both sides of the markets here in the VIP Telegram group, and I think most of y'all, and also me still, we can be learning a lot of the traders in this group. So I will see you guys there. Have an amazing evening, and up until the next update video and live streams. Good night. Thanks all for watching. Bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.